Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm your Google trainer, so I'm excited to be here. I come with a small business background. I've been heavily involved with Google Ads for 14 plus years. I know every kind of paid ad plus organic ad, because that's where the organic search is really where I started my business. And I've earned the Texas Governor's Excellence in Small Business Award. So I'm excited to be here with you today. And I hope you take advantage, because I'm not only going to teach you about what's on the slides, but let you benefit also from OPE, other people's experiences of all the tried and true and the things that I spent money and a lot of precious time on, okay? So make sure you ask those questions, because I'm here and I'm happy to help. And again, have really that strong passion and love for small business. That's my background in everything that I do. So I do see Chris from Royce here, Manhattan Chamber of Commerce. All right, Stillwater, Oklahoma. You're starting a business. Don't worry, Elena, we will make sure you don't have any bad habits. Don't lose any precious money and time that you don't have a lot to lose of, right? Do not know anything about it. Would love to know. Perfect. All right, everybody. Anything else? Let's see. Some of you are using Google Ads. Most are, it's scary. It's scary because you're putting money in there. And there's nothing worse than the first time that you make a huge mistake in any time of paid media, and all of a sudden you see this humongous bill that you are now responsible for, right? That's scary, especially as a small business where cash flow is king. All right, let me see. Absolutely, welcome. Yes, absolutely. You will get a recording just because you've commented there, and it will send it to the email that you actually registered with. All right, no worries. We're going to talk about that. That's why today it is Learn the Basics of Google Ads. Sometimes I have people within our actual session that are very advanced in ads, so they'll start asking some advanced questions, which I'm happy to help at to the end or even offline, but not during this time, just because it can be overwhelming already. Ads is already overwhelming sometimes and just scary because your pocketbook's associated with it. And I want to talk you through that and how the best practices to preserve and make the most bang for your buck. Okay, so again, if you need closed caption, here's where you go. Tweeting or posting. You guys, if you've been with me before, you know the drill. Use the hashtag grow with Google, because it lets the Google team know that this matters to you. And I want Google to create more free webinars like this to help you understand exactly how to use the tools to the benefit of your business. Okay, now if you are tweeting or posting and using that hashtag, if you want to tag me, this is me on Twitter. That's my handle here, Maria Elena Duron. My full name is there on Instagram. Feel free to tag me. I'll repost, retweet you. Deal? All right, everybody. I do see that you're finding it. All right. Thank you for giving me your feedback. Welcome. Lauren, welcome. Cindy, I see you here. And Barbara, I do see you here with Westlaco. Love it. I love it. So thank you for being here and bringing everyone with you. Again, if you need any cart captions at all, bring up another tab or URL and look at the bottom of the screen here. That is the URL that you'll go to. So today we're going to be talking about how you can advertise on Google. How can you actually use Google Ads to grow your business? Now, I say this with caution because I know you are here to learn about ads, but I also like for you to use all of the free tools that you have available to you and optimize those. Really get those going before you plan and do any spending, okay? But when you do spend, you have to have a lot of things in mind, like goals and exactly what is it that you need to measure that will get you closer to that goal and make it inevitable? How to improve your ads, we'll also talk about that, really about keywords. You may be familiar with that. Keywords are the words that people search for. So there are keywords and key phrases. We don't just search in words. So we need to understand what that is, as well as what the ad extensions are, because that just lengthens and increases the size of our brand visibility. We'll talk about that more. How you can measure what you're doing, because if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 or 1 minute that's spent not lifting that bottom line or getting you closer to your goal is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. And we need to know how to do this really well and very disciplined in ads to preserve our monies. And then, of course, I always end with what you can practically do and apply now, because it's more important to do that. Knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. And then some free resources, because I like free or small fee and free resources that you can use to help you become even better at making your ads do some of the heavy lifting for you. So when you're advertising on Google, what we do know is that people discover new items on Google. And not just Google, on YouTube too. So if you don't know it, Google's the #1 search engine in the world. YouTube is #2. They are both owned by Google. Both their search results show up on the first page of an organic search result, which is what you want. There are 10 organic search results on every search page of Google. You want to show up in the first page, because if you don't, people don't know you exist. And if they don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. So as you look at this, people are discovering and they make plans from what they see. And it's important for you to be visible to them. We see that happening right now as everybody's doing their Black Friday or opt out of Black Friday already. So when someone wants something, they will enter things into the Google search bar, or they'll say, hey Google, hey Alexa, and they'll say their phrase, because we all voice search and speak their search. And by the way, I apologize for anybody that I just activated any of those tools for you by saying that. I've done that a couple of times in webinars. You then, as a business, have a chance to bid for the opportunity to show your ad, show your information to the person who's searching for that, because it matches, something that you provide, a product, service, or solution. And then that ad will appear in Google search results. So you've seen the photo ads at the very top. That's Google Shopping. That is a paid position. Under that, there is a text ad that's with a green box around it, and it says ad, and that's a text ad. So you have an actual shopping ad with photos, and then a text ad, and then usually 10 organic search results. So that's great visibility to be right there at the top of search. Now, there are many ads, right? As you heard me talking about the text ad, which I show you right here. If you look at that little red dot, there are also image ads. So image ads can show up here in images. It can show up in your feed as well. There are shopping ads. See how those photos right at the very top, those are Google Shopping ads. Those are very specific and paid positions. There's dynamic search ads, which actually adjust to what everybody's searching for. Call only ads, they only are going to make phone calls from those ads, or video ads as well. So there are video ads, and we see those a lot of times right in YouTube, the skippable and the non-skippable ads within a YouTube video, or even within the YouTube feed and search. Now, for this particular webinar, we're going to be talking about text ads, and we're going to focus on this because this is the basic and what I like people to start with, so they have a good understanding of all the components of ads. Understand, when you pay for an ad in Google, it is PPC, pay per click, or CPC, cost per call. All right, so click or cost per call. PPC, pay per click, CPC, cost per call, because sometimes it's a phone call that generates it. I work with a lot of service industries who no one will ever go online to look for information other than when their service hours are, but they want to call somebody right now. It's freezing outside, 32 degrees, and I need my heater on and it's out. There's water flooding everywhere. So they're making phone calls, and they're doing phone call. So the phone call is the click, as opposed to clicking through to your site. You can do both. All right, so here in this instance, we're going to be looking at these text ads and getting our best practices down, right, at the lowest amount of spend. So the first thing you need to do, and when I say spend, it's the ad spend. It's the budget that you're going to spend. We want to learn at that lowest amount, get those basics, and now we are going to scale it. So we want to nail it before we scale it. So in your Google account, if you have a free personal Gmail account, you've got a free Google account. All you need to do is log into your Google account. And if you don't have one, look at the bottom left-hand corner. You can set one up here. You do not have to change from your current email. You don't need Gmail. You can just sign up here and get a free Google account. So again, that's 100% free. And now you have access to all the free Google tools, okay? But again, if you have Gmail, you're good, but you don't have to have Gmail to do that. You can do that here, set that up. You're all good to go. And then we're going to go to g.co/ads. All right, so let me see real quick if there's any questions before we take this deeper dive into understanding Google Ads. All right, knowing the basics. Perfect, perfect, everybody. I'm so glad you're finding that question box, because you will get a copy of the recording 24 hours from now. It takes that long to render, so you can slow me down, speed me up, and have me go over anything over and over again to make sure it is something that you can apply right away. And if you want a copy of today's slides, if you do want a copy of today's slides, just put the number 5 in the question box right now, and that will be sent to you at the same time as this actual recording. So 24 hours from now, not tonight. All right, as we get started into Google Ads, so it's the number 5 you'll put in there. All right. When you go into Google Ads, you will be dropped by default in what's known as a smart campaign. So let me explain a little bit about what a smart campaign is. A Google Smart Campaign is walking you through, it's kind of like the Mad Libs, I say, of Google Ads. You fill in the blank, it's going to produce an ad for you. It is the best place to start, and here is why. Because your ad account, when you start a new ad account, has no history yet. Okay, it is Google's AI, artificial intelligence, that's going out and picking up how other people, thousands upon thousands in your industry, are performing well, and you're going with that history. And it's important to have a little bit of that if you don't have some yourself, because I would rather, again, learn from other people's experience and be able to jump off of that, as opposed to me having to spend all the time and money to start from ground zero. So you can do that by letting Google first know what's your main advertising goal. That's the first question you're asked when you're dropped into Google Ads. What's your goal? Is it to get more phone calls? Is it to get more website sales or signups, so they're going to drop off their information in a contact form? Is it to get more visits to your physical location? Okay, all of that is what Google's looking for. Now, we'll tell you the one that's highlighted here, to get more sales or signups. Make sure whenever somebody signs up for something, I've just been walking through this with a realtor this morning, was that when they sign up for something, you have to have a thank you page to it. Like when they sign up, say thank you, now you'll get this, this, and this. If you don't have this, if it's just a form and then they don't have a thank you page that pops up, it's really hard to track that for ads. And it makes your ads do more for you, and actually have you spend less, because you're now knowing exactly what's working. So it's important to have a thank you page that shows up if this is how you want to do things, at signups and by sales. Have that, because that's where all the unique trackable metrics. So you'll hear that again, unique trackable metrics, UTM. That's where what you use to show your ads and to give a signal to the ads that it's working. And now it gives you a better understanding of your target audience and what they do. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, I see a lot of people want a copy of the slides. That's good. All right, so now you're going to put your business name. This is your actual business name. Pretty much like I said, fill in the blanks. It's pretty intuitive. You're going to tell people where they need to click on their ad. Let me pause here for just a moment, because this is the #1 place where people mess up on their ads, because they take them to the home page. All right, understand that if somebody came from an ad and you said, hey, we've got the best tomato recipe in the world, and you drop them at the home page where you talk about fertilizing tomatoes and where you grow them and the different heritage and how you procure your tomatoes, but they can't find the recipe, they're going to bounce and leave, and you're going to waste that click. You're going to have to pay for that click. So that's how you pay for Google Ads, is you pay for every click or every call. That's why I spent the time to say PPC, pay per click, CPC, cost per call. You need to know exactly what you're spending on and take them to the best experience that gets you the actual result that you want, what looks like it's successful to you. So understand that if you take them to the home page, which a lot of people do by mistake, because they just get so excited that somebody's looking actually at their information and they want to show them everything, because who knows? They could love all of these things, and just think about all the business that you can get from them. But slow your roll for a moment and think about, they came in there looking for something specific. Give them something specific. People do business with people and businesses that they know, like, and trust. Well, what builds trust? Consistency. What else builds trust? Doing what you say you're going to do. If I'm going to take you to the tomato recipe, then I better sure as heck take you to the tomato recipe. When you go to that page, now I can earn your business, because you are there looking, and I can say, but did you know we have all this? Or did you know your tomato flavor all depends on this? I can now draw them in, but I do that when I take them where I told them I'm going to take them. Okay, so that's really, really important here. And I've spent some time pausing here, because I've seen a lot of businesses lose a lot of money taking them to the homepage. I don't want anybody who's on the roster here to ever get stuck in that. So now you've been told, educated, now apply. All right, now it's time to write your ad. So you see here that there is a little cheat number here right at the very bottom, which lets you know how many characters you have. Like for a headline, you have 30 characters. That means space, punctuation mark, all of that The letter, of course, the alphabetical letter, all counts as a character. So that's all you have. So you have to be super succinct. Get to the what's in it for me for people. Okay. When I'm looking at an ad, it's not about you. It is about them. What is it? How do you benefit them? What need or want do you fulfill for them? You do have spaces for 2 headlines, in fact, 3 headlines, sorry, and 2 descriptions is what you have 2 of. So you have a little bit more space in descriptions. You have 90 characters, and then you can show a call button in your ad. And that's very important, is to have a call to action, because we're all very busy. And so we get distracted by the 12,400 messages we get on any given day. And we may want to buy from you, and we're intending to, and then we get distracted and we don't know what to do next when we come back, because we're still trying to get on the same page. Help them get there with a good call to action. And remember, the call to actions are, what are they going to benefit from? What are they going to get from this? So just keep thinking of that benefit language, because it's not features that sell, it's the benefits that actually do. How are you going to help somebody? So as you look at your keyword themes, that gives you an idea here, because you're borrowing from Google's AI and Google's experience with all these industries. You can find out the keywords that match. You can X out those that don't apply to you. If you're not a spice store or you don't do online spice, just X that out and that doesn't apply. You can add more here also, and you can also add some of your own as well. So go with the suggested, plus you can add your own new keywords. This is nice to be able to see exactly what people are already using and searching for. Start with that, and now you can start tweaking and seeing which ones actually bring you the best people to your site that you could do business with. Now you can select location. All right, where do you get most of your business? That's why it's very important for you to have Google Analytics set up on your website. Google Analytics measures and tells you how people shop your site and what matters to them. That's really important, because it's up to us to be experts in our customers. We need to know them all the way around, exactly what they need, and we need to know their location. So it could be right within our area, so we might want to drop and drag this little bar right from within our address area, but it could be that I actually do business at another state or way down in another county. Not to worry, you can choose those as well by putting an address there, or you can put by region, by zip code, or by cities, okay? Now, Google will give you a budget example that you can use. And I like to use Google's budget, whatever they actually recommend. And here's why, because they are pulling from AI. But understand, the reason why I like to use their budget is not because I'm a Googler, because I was doing this well before I was ever associated with Google. I do this because I'm not a set it and forget it gal. I go back in after 3 days of running ads and I measure whether or not this makes sense. So I might have gone with the recommended $10 a day. But let's say at $10 a day, let's say I'm running 2 ads. One ad at $10 a day, I got 1,000 eyeballs looking at it. So I'm like, wow, that's great. But then the other ad at $10 a day, I got 500 eyeballs looking at it. Would I keep that on? But wait, there's more. I investigate a little bit more and I see I got 500 eyeballs, and of the 500 eyeballs, 300 people bought, or they left their email address, or they watched the video, or they subscribed to my newsletter. Whatever it is that I want them to do, they actually did that action. So the 1,000 eyeballs right here, well, that's great. They're of interest, but the people, the 300 people that actually clicked on it and actually did business with me, they are the ones that are the better market. So what I'll probably do is take the $10 I'm spending over here for 1,000 eyeballs and go over here and apply it to the one that got me 300 to do that success action. In this instance, let's say it's a purchase. So the 300 who purchased, and see if I put another $10 on there, will I get another 300? Will it keep doubling exponentially? And when do I get to the part, the law of diminishing returns, where I just can't get any more? When does that ever max out? So you see how I operate Google Ads. I like to put lots of effort, focus, and money towards what is working. But I test first and do that measuring back and forth, because you need to measure your marketing. So this is what you do first. I go with the recommended, and then from there I start getting a good feel after 3 days. Then you can review your campaign before you ever send it off. Take a good look, make sure all the information is there. See, you can, just so you see that second bullet point, enter payment info, that's when you would put it in. Even though by default, Google's gonna send you little pop-ups and little notifications that you need to put your payment information, your credit card, your financial information in. You don't have to do it. You can still use it all up to this point till before you launch an ad. That's when you need to put it in. So don't be coerced by those actual little alerts, because you can ignore those until you're actually ready to advertise. But there's so much you can use in Google with Google Ads, and I'll show you what you can use for free and how that can even help you with the rest of your marketing. But does this make sense to everybody? Because now you can set up your optional conversion tracking so you can see exactly what people are doing. Are they leaving off their email address? Are they watching the video? For how long? Did they watch 10 seconds? Did they watch it halfway or all the way through? You can see all of that, okay? All right, everybody. So when we're managing our ad campaign, this is how we review our performance. We actually look at our insights in there, and we can decide, remember what I said, this is not set it and forget it, because we've got to be good stewards of our actual money. And we see here, we've got to edit our keyword themes and our search phrases, because maybe they're not matching. You know, I keep looking for people who want yoga mats, but I keep finding people who are searching for yoga blankets. So that's not really my best customer, because I don't sell yoga blankets, it's yoga mats. And I might need to go there and adjust, edit the ads, control where they appear. So maybe I need to see, oh, you know, I want that to show up in YouTube because I think it's good for everybody to see a visual of what the difference between a mat and a blanket is. And then I can also manage that ad budget, which is what I was talking about a moment ago. Now, the different campaigns that you can actually have available kind of blows your mind a little bit. So when you think about it, smart campaigns in Google are the Mad Libs. So you fill in the blank here, and everything is pretty automated for you. But some people, especially if you feel like you really got a good handle on ads, maybe you do a lot of social ads and you really know it and you feel like you can go in there and dive at expert level, you can. There's a lot that's then advertiser managed when you go into search campaigns. But here's the caution. Understand that smart campaigns stay nice within that budget that you're setting. If you go to a search campaign, just be ready, because you could make a costly mistake there because you are managing something and Google's not automatically doing it for you. So you manually have to put some stopgaps in. Make sense to everybody? All right, so we're going to talk more about what all this means and how that affects you. But if you are interested in the expert mode, then by default, remember what I said, anytime you start a Google Ads account, you're going to be taken to this screen. It's just automatically taking you into smart campaigns because we don't want you to mess up. We want you to have the best experience utilizing Google Ads. But if you are a professional marketer, or you just know, hey, I want to handle this, you're working with an agency that wants to handle it, or a freelancer, not to worry. What you can do is, see right here, it says switch to expert mode. And now you can have all of that kind of control. Okay, so that's how you would do that here. Now, understand when you create a search campaign, when you're doing that, you're going to actually click on creating a search campaign. So you see that when you're out of smart campaigns and you're now into the expert mode, you have a whole lot more choices. You can do video ads, you can do shopping ads, you can do discovery ads. In this case, we're going to do a search ad, because everything that I'm teaching you today gives you the basic foundation in a search ad, which you're going to use for all your other ads. Okay, so let's talk about improving those ads. And again, if you have questions, use that question box, everybody, okay? This is your session. So, but do know, if you have a very personal question, I will save it to the end, and I do turn off the recording for the private Q&A or the lengthy Q&A, because that's really the benefit of the people who are here, and I don't want to jeopardize your privacy in any way. So what is in a text ad? You've got those 3 headlines. I've shown you that already, the 2 description lines, and then 1 final URL. Where do you want to send them? So it's very important for everything that you're doing with your ads to think of your goals. And I smart test all my goals. Understand that smart testing all your goals has to address all 5 points. If you don't, if you miss one, you are then off course to make that work for you. So, or make that goal inevitable. So a goal, if you're not familiar with SMART goals, it's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. And why I say attainable, that's the one that throws a lot of questions, is because if I made $1,000 this year and I said, okay, I'm going to make $1 million this next year, then I need to know what components I have in place to make that inevitable, or is that just a pipe dream? Okay, so I do have to have, what am I doing differently to make that change happen? All right, so we know SMART goals. We're SMART testing all of our goals here. Hello, hello, Geneva, I see you. Now, text ads. The tip for writing great ads is really think about what people are looking for. All right. So in this instance, we are thinking here, we're a spice shop, spices versus buy specialty spices. So if I have somebody looking for spices, that could open up just an entire search that I have to now compete with hundreds upon thousands of businesses that sell spices, from Walmart to the mom corner store to the festival down the street, the spice festival, all of that. So what is it that I'm looking for that really does get closer to what people are looking for? Okay, closer to the buyer. So for example, I was working with a team yesterday. They have a dog product, and a lot of their content and their blog and their ads and all their socials are about, hey, are you worried about your dogs and inflation, and now you're going back kind of hybrid work, and so you're going to have dogs, part-time at work or part-time at home. How are you handling that? So there's then dogs and teeth care, and then Queen Elizabeth's corgis. So their content is kind of way out here compared to bringing it close to their dog product itself. It could be because their dog product is a dog potty training product, so it's housebreaking your dog. So it could be, are you dealing with stains in more written about, are you dealing with stains in the carpet? How do you get rid of this? How do you get rid of the smell? Why do they keep peeing in the same spot? Your ads could focus more on that instead of way out here about, how Queen Elizabeth was amazing with her corgis. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? So if you think of your keywords, think and look to your best customers. Find out what words they use to find you. And for those of you who don't have customers, go to your competitors, your potential competitors' reviews, and read that, because in their own words, people are actually saying what is it they need and what they value, and also what your competitor's missing. So it's a little bit of competitive research that could give you some insight into a potential business stream for you. All right, and then of course, inspire action. This is really important. We've got to inspire action, because it's all day long, right? We get this message here. I've got Slack and WhatsApp up. In fact, I had to turn all those notifications off as I was going online. Plus, we're getting pinged by our calendar, by our email, and of course, the kiddos come in and say, hey, I need a poster board. So you have all of these things going on. And you have to remember, that's what your customer has going on. So when they come back to your things and they see it up there and they think, or they look in their screen and they say, I was looking at this and what was I going to do? Now you have that already answered for them. The better job that we do in making it easy to buy from us, the more they'll buy from us. Okay. So as you look here, go to g.co/text ads. That's at the bottom URL there to the left. That gives you some really good hints to make your text ads just fly. All right. Now, other ways you can improve your ads is really focus your ads in ad groups. So this is looking at who your target audience is, knowing who your best customer is. And I know a lot of small businesses stress about this, but I am thinking about the customer that gives you the most pleasure and profit. We all who've been in business any amount of time have had customers that we wonder at the end of the day, after we resold them, answered their questions for the umpteenth time, and went back and forth on different things, we wonder if we made negative $2 after all of our personal involvement in the deal. So you have some best customers that you work with. Like, for example, one of the customers that I would work with before was always the person that had and worked with an accountant or a bookkeeper, somebody who is used to paying for professional services, because I don't have the time, energy, and money to educate them on why they don't need to do it themselves. I want to work with somebody who already values professional services and is willing to pay for it. So understand that you're going to figure out your groups this way. You might even do it geographically. Boy, I tried to say that a little bit differently today. You may know if you're in Durant, well, I have people in Dallas that really do well, or really it's not Dallas, it's Fort Worth, or maybe it's Flower Mound. So you will actually target towards those areas and speak and address people who are in that area. So when they see your ad, they think, oh my gosh, they get me. You're also going to write very simple, enticing, and test. Remember what I said about testing and looking to see, okay, that got eyeballs, but this actually got sales. And then regularly not set it and forget it. Regularly review that ad performance, because the set and forget it is going to give you surprises that are not happy surprises. Okay, we want only good surprises and really to be good managers and leaders of our own business. Now, let me see if there's some questions here. And so how much is it to click per ad? Somebody asked. It really depends on your keyword. Some keywords are very popular, so that's why it's called a bid. You'll hear it talk about the Google bid ads auction or the ads auction bid. Whatever format you hear that, that's usually the words you hear in that sentence. So the bid has to do with how popular that keyword is right now, and that will determine how much that is. So for example, right now, if you are looking for Christmas shopping, you're going to pay a pretty penny for that keyword, because it's time, everybody. If you say Black Friday in your ad, if you say opt out of Black Friday, it's time. Now, if you did that in February 20th of next year, you'll probably pay the lowest you're ever going to pay. But right now it is high because that's what people are searching for. They're looking for discounts and Black Friday deals, and they're typing and searching and saying, hey, Google, hey, Alexa. So that's where a lot of the ad budget now increases. It has everything to do with the traffic flow. And I can talk to you a little bit about how you can gauge that traffic flow. But one of the things you can do is, if you're in smart campaigns, and what I love about smart campaigns is you can look and see the search phrases that is recommended to you, and you can turn them off or on. So on when the blue is like this, or off if you click on it and it grays out. So that's what you're seeing here. So for example, let's say, I love this. You know, I'm a Chicago spice shop, let's say, and I love that, man, I did this ad and I got 21,000 eyeballs on it, but I only got 23 clicks. Compared to this one, I got 839 eyeballs, but 96 clicks. Which one should I keep on, right? What's the best bang for the buck right here? I would probably turn this one off, and again, see if I can apply what I spent here over here and see if I could get more. Double that. If that just keeps increasing, I'm on the right path, right? Getting those sales. So for you, as you look at keyword phrases, this is important for you to do. Now let's talk about keyword phrases, and I'll show you where you can find that if you're in the expert mode. But let's talk and make sure we're very clear on what a keyword phrase is, because it's important for you to know keywords as you go into Google Ads, whether you do it yourself or you hire somebody to do it. You need to know that there are broad terms. So these are ads, like say Spice. It could be that they spell it a little bit differently. It could be somebody searching for the Spice Girls, and maybe you don't want to pay per click when somebody is looking for the Spice Girls when you have a Chicago spice shop. So also phrase, if you put the quotation marks in there, it means it tries to match that phrase or close variation. So it could be spice, spices. It also might even be spicy, okay? When you use the brackets, that means it has to be the exact terms. It's not spicy, it's not Spice Girls, it's Spice. But if you want to make sure you don't show up for the Spice Girls because you just don't want to pay for that traffic and everybody clicking on that, looking for the last favorite Spice Girl song that showed up on Stranger Things, all you have to do is put negative this. So negative girls makes it a negative keyword, which means I don't want to pay for any time somebody clicks using that phrase, okay, at all. That lets Google know that, and it teaches Google how to show and best showcase your ads and who to. Make sense? All right. So a keyword planner, when you're in your actual Google AdWords account, or ads, sorry, it's ads now. It's not been AdWords for 2 years, but every now and again I go back to it because I've been involved with ads for, as I said, over 14 years. If you go into your keyword planner in Google Ads, you can discover new keywords here. You can also see how much people are searching. Remember what I said when you asked that question about how many, you know, what's the cost per click? What does that actually come to? It all depends on the popularity. If there's high competition to that. For example, in the state of Texas here, I know that if somebody's looking for auto financing, that's one of the highest keyword terms you can pay. You can pay up to $31 per click. Tight. I don't want somebody to pay that kind of amount. So it could be used autos for sale, now coming at a 17 cents per click. It could be used auto good condition, because maybe, you know, it's not saying for sale, but people are looking and searching, hey, does anybody know who sells a used auto in good condition? Used car could be that too. So I'm going to pick up phrases that are not as highly competitive because it's not as costly. okay? You can see here, as you look in this example to the right here, this graphic is showing you how it can charge anywhere from, like, Spice websites can be 55 cents all the way to $1.69 per click. And it really just depends on the popularity, but it's showing you how to get top of page and where you'll go for the ad. Now, if you are in, let's say, in advanced, and you want to search around there and do that yourself, but I'll show you live actually, because this is going to look the same. Let me just throw this up here. All right, I'm in a demo Google account, ads account that I use. This is what it looks like at the backside of Google ad campaigns, how you get to the keyword planner. Again, remember, you can use this 100% for free without putting any of your payment information in. I love it because who's better at looking at what the keywords are than Google, the #1 search engine in the world? Why? I mean, I could pay for others, and I like the others, don't get me wrong. I like using the other tools, but I also know there's a lot of robust tool and functions you have here. So click on the little gear, sorry, got into the little wrench. That's a wrench, everybody. All right, you can tell I'm not into tools, but everybody click on the little wrench. And if you look here, then you will have columns, and you're looking at the first column. Now, if this is the first time you've ever gone into Google Ads, you're only going to have one column, this one, the planning column. None of this others will show up, but you will go down to the second item, which is Keyword Planner, and Keyword Planner will take you here. Now you can discover new keywords by clicking here, and you can actually put in your products or services, or you can put your website address in to see, or even better, your competitor's website address to see what keywords people are using to discover and search them. And you could see what's available there, and you can decide then what you want to work with. Okay, so let's say the keywords I want to work with is Spice Shop Online. And let's just look for that. So you can see with Spice Shop Online, I might even know that I could broaden out that search by adding some of these keyword search terms. You can see here how much it'll cost. So it's very competitive right now. High means that I'll be paying about $1.19 up to $3.87 per click. So maybe I'm going to use buy Indian spices online, even though I might have more than just Indian spices at my shop. I'm still going to use this because that gets me visibility at the last cost per click, or the least amount. Or it could be that I have the cheapest spices online, so I'm going to use that instead. Or maybe only saffron. I'm going to lead with saffron because I know when people buy saffron, they probably have an entire spice cabinet, and now they get even specialized. So I would rather spend 65 cents a click as opposed to $1.19 to $3.87. Does that make sense to everybody? So let me look through here. How to target the right keyword. Yes, absolutely. Oh, Geneva, I'm sorry you lost sound. Everybody still hear me? Just let me know in the question box. Can you use the keyword planner to help you with your SEO and your website? Oh, Emily, you are after my own heart. You see how I like free and small fee? That is exactly what I do. I use this for even organic. So sometimes I go into Google Ads, even for my social posts. I am not interested in actually starting an ad. I'm just going to use the power of the keyword planner tool. So Emily, we are thinking alike. I love it. All right, let me see other questions here. I'm gonna have to check with you on the ad credit because it's long. Again, whenever it's more than a sentence that you type in there, just so everybody, so you know, all you're gonna see is the top of my head, and I don't want that experience for you. So I will look at that and then answer that at the end, or if you will message me, let me know, but I will look at it at the end, just post it again at the end when I ask for open questions, okay? Let's see. Choose the least amount per click. Will your visibility be as good? Emily, so understand you're going to put a budget. So the way it works is, let's say the budget is $5 a day. Okay, so $5 a day, which is, what is that? That's $5 a day, 30 days, what, 150 bucks? That's really, really low. But let's just say $5 a day, because that's the minimum you can start with Google Ads. So $5 a day, and I know I'm going to use buy saffron online. Now understand, it could be depending on the time of the day. Let's say at noon, at lunchtime, when everybody's trying to figure out their shopping list. Let's say that's what's happening with your community. They're all trying to figure that out. It could be $2.54 a click as opposed to 65 cents. So you're looking at your budget. You can set the budget for your entire day. But do understand that the ad budget, or your actual ad click, the cost per click that you're going to pay, will depend on the traffic and the popularity right at that moment, because it could be at noon, it could be later. Now you might want to get in there and get very specific and say, I'm going to turn it off between 8 and 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. I actually have a business I work with that does that. He turns it off from 8 to 10 o'clock at night because his best customer actually is a woman who is 35 to 54 years old, and he knows that his best customers shop at about 2:20 in the morning. So it doesn't make sense for his ad to show up any other time. That's not his best customer. He's looking for more people like them who will buy from him easily and buy more from him. So he's doing that. You can do that as well and really get customized here in your ad planning. But that is how, so you know that if you're at the peak time, $2.54, you're going to go through that budget in 2 clicks, right? Now do understand that even though you do set a budget of $5 a day, do understand that it's going to look at what that is as a total month. So Google, let's say $5 a day, 30 days in a month, that's $150. It's not going to go over that 150. But let's say on Monday, people are really popping, they're ready and they're looking. So you spent $10 and you said only $5 a day. But Tuesday, nobody's there. So you spent nothing on Tuesday. So it could ebb and flow that way. It is going to adjust to the traffic. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, okay, I think I answered all the questions. Good, good, good. All right, ad extensions. Let's talk about ad extensions a little bit because a lot of people don't know what these are. So what an ad extension is you can actually expand the ad. And I like that because in order to get people's attention, get that visibility, we need to be able to show and see and show up in their radar. So one of the things I like to use, of course, you guys have heard me talk about the Google business profile that hangs on the right-hand side, really great visual real estate. But what also can do that are extensions that actually make your space and your visual real estate bigger, right? So it could be a call extension. A call extension means that the only time I'm going to actually be charged and what's showing to everybody is that they can call me. Now, what's nice about call extensions is that when somebody calls, you as the advertiser, you get to know exactly what phone number they called from, and you can make a decision. Well, that's not my area code, so I don't do business with people here, or that was a good call or not. You'll also see if somebody dropped off in 2 seconds or 110 seconds. Excuse me. And I'm able to help people and businesses and tell them, look, they stayed on for 110 seconds, so that shows that there's something there, unless they were asking you for directions, which means that you need to do some other things online to help them get there without them relying on a call-only ad. So you've got call extensions. Here's the key. Let me give you a little expert tip with call extensions. Get their phone number when they call, okay? Because the way Google can track this is it's giving you a phone number that's a tracking phone number in your ad. It's not your actual phone number. So if they keep calling back off that same ad and using that, you keep getting charged per click. But if you say, hey, you know, I'd like to, if something happens and we're dropped off the line, can I have your phone number? And this is my direct line. Then you have their contact info, or if they don't even give that, then give them your direct line and they feel special because now they can reach you and it avoids you having to pay for the click again, right? Site link extensions, what that does is it gives you things like, for example, if I had specialty spices and I wanted to say, I've got saffron in all beautiful jars, then I could have an actual site link extension to a page on my site that's all about the beautiful saffron jars. It could be a call out extension where I'm calling out, like, let's say I sell eyeglass or sunglasses, and it could be something that's Polaroid, you know, Polaroid lenses and UV blocking lenses. So it could be that as well. Or location extension, you know, if you're in Norman, Oklahoma, Wagner, Oklahoma, you're in Dallas, Texas. Again, it could be all that. You're in Weslaco. All right, so those are what ad extensions are, but there are also more. Price extensions. So I like to use price extensions because it'll show your price, because sometimes people are just in that price shopping. And what I love about that is it gives you little price tags there. So it gives a little bit of graphic and it catches the eye. You also have here as well promotion extensions. So if you're promoting $10 off, so you can show that right away. Structured snippet actually gives you a little bit more. Let's say you have sunglasses, high end, that are that have UV blocking rays. Okay, so now you get really into some structured specifics of what somebody's looking for. App extensions only show up on mobile, people when they're shopping by mobile, so they want to download an app, they've got to be on a mobile, so it doesn't make sense to show it on a desktop. And then automated extensions are where you do have them automatically pull from different things to your site to automate those extensions for you. So it just lengthens things up when you're looking in an actual ad and gets you more visual real estate. Now, remember what I said about measuring. That's why I spent so much time in the beginning talking about goals, because I think that is the first step, and I know how much of a difference that makes in your actual ad success and whether or not you think Google Ads spent a lot of your money or whether or not you got a lot of money from business from it. It has everything to do with you setting goals. So let's look at the terminology. While you're reading through the terminology real quick, let me see, there's a question here. Oh, okay. So absolutely, if you need help, by the way, I encourage you to reach out to the Google partner that invited you, because they have local people and local resources, and I'm all about local and shopping small. So if you can do local business, I highly encourage you to do that. All right, Chambers of Commerce, I want you to be able to connect people together here, and you know who actually has experience doing Google Ads, who's Google Ads certified, who understands how to utilize all these tools. Absolutely, you can connect with me on socials and through the free marketing community that I lead, but do know that doesn't mean don't reach out to your local people, because that's who you really need to work with. And they're there. Your Google partners are vested in your success, so they want it to be a good connection for you. Okay, but the basic terminology is impressions. That's when we see something. Again, even you may know this from social, when you're just scrolling along, that's an impression. That doesn't mean somebody actually saw it, but a click shows you there's at least a little bit of interest there. Conversion means that they bought, they downloaded the PDF, they left their email address and contact information, they watched the video, whatever you think is successful to make that ad successful in helping you reach your goals. So reports and smart campaigns, you can actually see what the impressions are, the clicks, the calls, the conversions. And I actually like to focus on the last three. While impressions is great to have, I don't look in that unless I'm not getting clicks and calls and conversions. If I'm not getting any clicks and calls and conversions and very little impressions, then I might have the wrong target audience. And I might be using the wrong words that don't match with exactly what they need. I need to be and do the work there, because when I can do that, now I will actually connect and the customer will see that we have the solution that they need. Now, in search campaigns, you do have the ability to look at ad groups, so you can group like audiences together. Let's say, okay, I'm going to group everybody who came from Weslaco is in this area. You can also have several different types of ads. You can set up landing pages with your ads. So let's say I want a landing page that says, hey, Weslaco, we are here for you. So it's very customized. You've all landed on different pages like that that really know who their audience is. You have a chance to look at keywords as well as demographics. Is it somebody using a mobile phone? Are they in the area? Are they shopping at what time of night are they shopping? What do they like to shop for or consume at that time of night? That is why I encourage you to connect Google Analytics and Google Ads. Remember what I said earlier, Google Analytics is how people shop your site. So you really learn more about that customer, what they need and what they're looking for in their decision journey. In Google Ads though, when the two are connected together, now Google Analytics actually teaches what it learned from your site about your customer to Google Ads. So Google Ads will now decide, you know what? Their people really aren't shopping at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We need to see and try it maybe at 6 o'clock after they get off work. Maybe it's during coffee break, or maybe it's at night after they get the kiddos down. So it's got to be sometime after 10 o'clock. So now these two are working well together. Plus, it's a signal to Google, which is what I like to do, because Google is the #1 search engine because the information it presents to somebody searching is correct. The way it does that is by getting the information from you, the business owner, and then confirming it through several Google tools. Google algorithm, here's this ping saying Google Analytics says this is a real business. Google Ads says real business. Google Business Profile says real business, information same and correct. All of those are doing that. That elevates you even on organic search. But this is how this can help you with page search. So Google Analytics is not hard to set up once you actually have your Google account. Remember, a free Gmail or a free personal Google account is just that, free. You'll go to g.co/analytics and you'll just walk through and connect that to your website, prove that you're the website owner. It will show you how to prove that. Once you get that set up, now you can connect the two of them together, and they really are very powerful. I love it when they're doing the work and I don't have to do all the work, okay? so they can learn from each other. Remember though, as you're making decisions on what you want to apply next, because you just spent almost an hour with me, and my next question to you is, what are you going to do first? What are you adding to your to-do list? One of the things to consider is how you can reach your customers. Realize that they're more just than just Google ads that can touch them. There might be several twists and turns along their decision journey, and understand what is it they need at every curve of that journey. When you do that, now you can understand that moment and market to them exactly what it is that they need in the format they need. It might need, hey, before I can get you to buy saffron, I need to show you how to spice things up with mac and cheese and how this is going to be the be all end all spice for you. So I do that within a Google or a YouTube video, and it takes you now through Google search to bring you to the shop, okay? Or to our online store. Make sense to everybody? All right, I see some questions here. You are going to have plenty of questions. Do reach out to the Google partner who invited you, but do understand you can also go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/growwithgoogle. There's a lot of learnings that happen there that are updated often as businesses ask for information. You might also want to take a deeper dive and get better at this yourself. You can go to right here to the URL at the bottom left and get a Google Career Certificate that is recognized by 3,000 plus places of work and universities. So you get all of this too to really get a good understanding of digital marketing. But I highly encourage you, better than all of that, or more than all of that, because they're all great, is to go to this site, find out what training you're interested in, and reach out to the Google partner who invited you, because the Google partner who invited you is there, and they know local people who can help and support you. All right, so we are at time, everybody, but I want to answer some questions. So if you need to go, I understand, not to worry. You need to go, and I hope to see you on socials and see you at the next session. I look forward to it. I hope you reach out to your Google partners, because they are there for you for all of the questions that you have. But now I'm going to go to personal questions, more specific questions, I should say.